Okay, for today's drawing activity, I would like us to get a piece of A4 paper and I would like you to fold it in half, lengthways, crease it, so you've got a line down the middle. Okay, and then I would like you to fold it into thirds. And crease it. Open it up. Fold it the other way. Just to make sure the crease is there, nice and clearly. Okay, so you should have 6 boxes now. And what I did is I went and collected some leaves, just lots of different leaves from outside when I was on my wellbeing walk. And I'm going to draw a box in each of these 6 squares, and we're going to try and do them in different mediums. So I'm going to start off by trying to draw this one, just sketching it out, just the outline. First of all, I'm looking at the centre of the leaf, and this will help with your natural forms project if you are going to add to that through your drawing in your sketchbooks. And just trying to get a little bit of outline of some of the detail of the leaf. Starting from the top, this one comes a bit more down. And it's okay if it's all shrunken up. We don't necessarily want all of these leaves to be perfect, because nature weathers and it is not necessarily always perfect. Okay, now I'm going to add some of a bit more of the detail. So it's got these lines that go off into different sections. It's about observational drawings from natural forms, looking at what you're drawing so you can see that you're trying to depict the detail with the lines. Well, we're starting off with lines anyway, just in pencil. You could draw it from one side and then you could turn it over and draw it from the other. I might do that actually. Okay, so that's a outline of that. Now if you look really, really closely, then each of these have got little kind of veins going off into each section of the leaf. And so that's what I'm doing, I'm adding the little veins to the little drawing of the leaf. Then I can add a little bit of shading to the stem to give it more strength. Definition. This bit's a bit darker. This one can be a pencil drawing as we've built it up enough to sort of warrant that. So just shading over and trying to depict the detail of the leaf. Now, any time if you want to play catch up, you can always pause the video and make sure that if you're drawing something similar to mine, then you are making sure that you're at the right stage before you move on to the next thing that I help you with. Okay, so that's kind of got some linear detail. So we're going to do a little bit more shading now. So it's just about observing what you can see on what you're drawing. So I can see there's some definition and some darkness there. So I'm just adding some shading there. I can see that there is some darkness and definition there. I'm just cross-hatching or hatching where this bit is folded over and a little bit torn. Okay, I can see that there is a little bit of a shadow coming behind this, so we need to make sure that that definition is seen. And I can also see that there is some shading coming from here and going in this direction, like that. On this side, there is actually, that's the bit there, the ripped section there. I need to sort of aggravate the tear marks a bit more to add some, make it clearer. And then around here, it's sort of almost a little bit moth-eaten. And there is some shading going on there. It's not necessarily as clean as that. And this is kind of double curved like that. And there is definite shading around here. But you can still see the lines. There is, again, shading coming from the stem of the leaf. And that makes it stand out a little bit more. Okay, and that's a little bit more curved. There is shading going across this area of the leaf. And so I'm just lightly sort of tickling the surface of the paper to get the shading marks. And just the lead is just sort of adding some interest to the paper. Tickling the surface. And saying, come look at me. So I think that there's a little bit of shading there as well. That is a good start for a pencil drawn leaf. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn that leaf over, And I'm going to try and do that in a different medium. So not using pencil, this time I'm going to use a biro. Hopefully this works. Okay, so this is me looking at the leaf from the other side, and I'm going to draw it in the box below. And what I can see this time is that I've got the stem of the leaf there coming over. I've got different weathered bits of the leaf. There are some crinkles there. And what I'm kind of doing is almost a continuous line drawing, but I did just take my pen off the page. So that bit's folded over and then it goes up. That bit's folded over and then it goes up. There is another bit there. So I start off with the outline and then I try and fill it in. I'm not sure if everyone would advise that. Sometimes it's good to start from the centre. But what I will do is I will experiment with that in the next picture. That's got another bit going around like that. And that goes up there. That bit's alright. This bit's folded. And that bit's alright. This comes up. Now, of course, this is not perfect. It's not supposed to be. It's a crinkled up leaf. So this bit is kind of going around like this, the way it's folded, and then it goes up and then down to the center there. And this time I've got this going around here, and there's a crinkle there, and up here where it's all kind of screwed up a bit, it has a bit more shadow on it going like that. And you can still see some of the detail of the different coloured lines. There's a little kink there. Then on this side, we've got a line going across there. It comes from here like that, comes round. This one goes up here. You can actually see some of the little detail bits coming off that one. I'll have to look a little bit closer in a minute. So that's that one. This one has got a fold coming from it, and that goes like that. There's some shading there. And this one has got some of that detail again with the lines going like this. And this is the folded one, so that's actually got a kink going on there as well. And some of the lines coming up. That way. I'll do it that way. The thing with pen is obviously if you make a mistake you can't go back over it. This one is actually a bit discoloured there, and then goes into that idea like that. This has got little bold bits going over like this from the leaf. Going on there. This you look a little bit closer there. So this bit has got some of the detail coming up through this bit here. Down here. And then there's definitely shadows coming from this side. And all the way across here. Some places a bit darker and patchy. There's that crease there. There is some shading here. The more you build up the lines, the more detail that you add to the observation that you've got on, that you're looking at for this leaf. Shape. So that is number one is pencil. Let's write this down. Number one, pencil. Number two, biro. Right, I'm going to change my leaf. I've got another one here. So I'm going to do the underside. And I'm actually just going to do that in relevant colours, I think. So I've got yellow, blue and green. So I'm going to start off with the dark green And I'm going to draw this one. So this, oh, there's a brown as well. Let's put a bit of brown in there. Right, okay, so relevant colours. And I'm going to just draw the shape, basic shape of the leaf. And then I'll start off by, then I'll start adding the detail. So drawing the around the outside. I'm doing it with the darkest green because I think it's fairly dark. And then I'm going to add a bit more detail now. So I'm going to have a look at the edge and how it is crinkled and folded. Drawing the centre stem. That comes off there. It does go a bit brown, but I'll add that shortly. Then looking for those segments that all leaves have some way or form. Actually, this bit's got one going the wrong way there as well. It has a more of a gentle glide there. Okay, and then on this side as well. So they are actually generally symmetrical, where there's like kind of branch. It's like almost like it's got a tree within a tree in the leaf. And it's about you sort of just observing how that's going. And we have other ones coming off shortly, but we're just sort of building up the general detail, drawing with a colouring pencil. Right, so I'm just gonna, ah yes, it does have the veins as well. So, looking at that, I got these little vein things that are coming off. Like little branches. Okay, that's actually a bit smoother, just looking a bit. Okay, I'm just going to add just a little warmth of green colour just by tickling the paper with the green to give it a little bit more colour. And then I can start building up my other colours, I think. Now I've got the general shape and size of this. Now the middle stem on this leaf is actually mainly yellow, and then it stops being yellow there, and then this one here is yellow as well. There's kind of a little yellow blob there, and around the outside we get a little bit of a glow, because it looks like the edges are almost like cut and they're sort of glowing a yellowy colour. And then at the end of this there is a dark brown, might even have some orange in it, warming down to this, like that. And there are actually some areas where it looks fairly brown, like there's brown sort of marks on it, or you could use it as your shading tool because it's kind of the darkest colour that we've got in the pencil palette that has been chosen for this drawing. And there is a blob there, there's a blob there, so making those marks. I'm going to have a look at blending in some light green, so I'm using the light green to add the glow from, again, just sort of tickling the paper to get that green glow. Okay, you could also add, to add some extra definition, we can add some blue, because that is in our colour palette, because obviously we know that green and yellow mixed together make blue. So just adding some extra definition, especially where you can see shading. And here, the crinkle bit, it's like a little bit of shading there, the crinkle bit at the end here. Okay, that's actually a bit greener than that there. So that is the third one, which is natural colour pencils. Okay, so the next one is we can try and do, so I'm going to turn it over, have a look at the other side of the leaf, and this time we could do an unnatural, so if I could go red, sort of warmer colours. Okay, so I'm going to try and look at the other side but use different colours. So I am going to, if I draw it in the other direction, no, I'll draw it in that direction. Yep. Okay. So it's funny how it doesn't look so wrinkly that side. Longer than that. And again, the stem is down the center. It looks much finer on this side. Actually, you can't see so many veins on this side, but it is almost shiny, so that will be something that we can try and get an effect with. So I'm going to start adding the sort of shiny colour blending to try and graduate the colours. One, oh, there is a tiny little one there. This one is a bit darker here. Down and down. Yes, and out.